Oh, oh, hey. Should I start again? Okay. So the first part is written, it's the voice of this woman in Namibia, and it's written sort of in a first-person omniscience, and she's speaking to the characters that we'll meet throughout the book. I know you not understand yet. You will. Another time. Another place. Listen. I know am not dead. Before this life, another body, one of flesh and bone, young soft face of camwood powder, dusted pale jasmine, braids fastened behind, amulet of iron bells strapped round my waist, anklet of beaded cuff from the world of ivory and dyewoods, palm fan, big green moon eyes, sodalite blue rings, copal earrings, baptized in creation from mission school. Smoking pipe, I walk, salt lagoon, no blood. Hands tucked into waistcoat, feet on fragments of dark narrows. Living in stone house, wearing mutton sleeve dress of gored crinoline. Suck pawpaw fruit beneath tree shade. Cotton, cattle, sheep. White man soldiers send Nama to Shark Island by cattle car, to Swankopond, then by sea to Luderitz. Tie men with rope, douse palm oil men. Wrap rubber wheel round neck, set flesh to fire, then me. The night of wailing, a long night. From the place they lay me, I sleep, I die, I rise, I walk. Briar pipe women sell peppers and yellow cake, know my story. Bracelets beckoning on mats of pepper and yellow cake, red pepper, dried fish, palm nuts, papua fruit. Suck straw amidst oil for cooking stones. Men trade flint and stone, tobacco, salt knives and liquor, soap and field hose. Fingers cracked, dry, arrange mango, sweet green fruit, egg tomato, fresh, sweet Ajap oil, fever grass, large pit pear, red pepper, palm nuts, pawpaw, yams, pomegranate, tobacco. Market women, Fulani women yell, milk, sugar beets, cabbage, cassava, sugar beets, earth nuts, codfish plum pudding. A merchant woman leaps forward waving a cowbell. Men dance clapping, spindle-legged. Transfix their eyes to nothing, hold face beyond, buckling long under the weight of chin, arms erected on the rolling sphere of hips, unfurling reams of ash-violet braids. Propelling a squally rhythm, water pellets shoot windswept from my back. The earth splits beneath my feet. Covered in dust, sun shines upon the back of my head. Dust falls upon them, dust upon dust. Children are thirsty. They send children to the water. Bushmen lay the springbok skin over stone. They put the stone upon the hole where the featherbrush sticks are set for fire. Sun rises up. The stars stand nicely around. Stars sail around footprints, always sailing, always following. They see me. I am daughter of Khoisan people, hunter-gatherer people of the Kalahari Desert. I, of 60,000 years, usher time backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Throw wood ash to the sky. Darkness comes, waxes red. Alluvial night eclipses beryl flesh. I crawl low, stalking python root. I grow wings of the hooting bird. Under firmament of a soft sky, I straighten my feet. I take to water. Fear not. We will find each other. There is none to be guardian between us. Forbidden is that which dies of itself, on which any other name has been invoked. Wild beasts have eaten what is sacrificed on stones. That which I do, that I, when I, dead, again I, living, return, do the thing that I do. Some do not look to the moon, for fear carry them to where there is no water. We, when the moon is newly returned alive, look thither to perceive it. We shut our eyes with our hands. Do not shut your eyes to the moon. Like the moon, soon you will resemble me. I sleep with rotting corpses stiff as food for vermin. All this land pulls back to a mass grave. Monsoon night, thunder sky, trees blown down narrows, wind gust, wave at midday. Everywhere beneath the high ridge-top barren fields, collapsing buildings, wind ripping vessels from their moorings, faint pulsation of pattering drizzle, increase rapid fire. The turbulence through the crack of gunfire, the core of the heat dome, move back west. I cannot forget two timber room, timber house. German, let me die. Moon conjoins, make light all over, night fall under fear. Know me, I, the comer of the night, and the star of piercing brightness. Know my hands, they are bruised with armored cruisers and steam cranes of the wooden jetty and the Iron Cross. They have escorted the Witbui Nama to Togo, chased rebellious tribes into the bush near Kribi, know the decapitation of 200 men, have adopted offensive methods used against tribes of the Boer Republic. These palms are diseased with hair, with lungs, have been poisonous. No words can I speak, except this question. Can you mate with heaven? Can water serve as the female part that enters? Can you bear issue and nourish, growing? Long time ago of bracelets beckoning on mats. Long time ago of cracked fingers. Long time ago of yams and earth nuts and codfish and cowbell clapping and eyes transfixed to nothing, buckling long under the weight of my chin. Long time ago, my arms erected on the rolling sphere of my hips. Long time ago, of black bodies unfurling reams of ash violet braids. Long time ago of water windswept, the earth splitting beneath my feet. I remember men covered in dust, dust upon dust, bushmen, laying springbok skin over stone. Put the stone upon the hole where the feather brush sticks are set for fire, and prisoners are sent to the island by cattle car or rail, prisoners sent by foot and then by sea. German soldiers them, tying long black bodies with rope. Long time ago, then me. Long time ago. Do not fear me. We will find each other. Soon. None guardian between us. So that's her speaking from death to Caroline Sen. Okay, then that one. Now, oh, by the way, there's another character I forgot to mention. So there's also, so then it goes back in the past. So then there's also, it goes, it's still dealing with Africa a little bit, deals with her husband. And this is also based a little bit on a true story because there was a huge case that happened in internationally, it had international attention. One of the first things to bring attention to the atrocities that was happening in German Southwest Africa started with the murder of a woman by a German soldier. There was a German soldier who'd been very attracted to a Namibian woman. He'd raped her, and then she was resisting him, and he murdered her. And she was married. Actually, she and her husband had given this German soldier in Namibia a ride somewhere, and then he later crept back to where they were and attempted to find this woman because he wanted to rape her or have sex with her, and she resisted, and he murdered her, and she was pregnant at the time. So, so part of this book also deals with the husband of this woman after her death, trying to get back to the place where her body had been laid to rest, and thinking about his own relationship to German colonialism, because he's a colonial soldier, and so he'd been conscripted to work against and imprison many people of other tribes, and so he begins to question himself and who he is and why he is doing what he's doing, and on and on and on. His bush rope tied to the waist, head pressed forward, trotting past moss-draped branches at the bank, he pauses at the shallow brook of salient fields. What matters now is speed, acceleration of push toward the bank. The Hausa is drawn to the clumsily built workers' settlements, fetid toy boxes crammed against their collieries, tall brickwork towers and old coal shafts crushed together, malodorous and heavy. A scow passes with a plank of light, its tinsel catching his eye. He squints. The dilation of a drunken eye casts shadows on the river's flange. Inasmuch light expands east to west over everything, someone is singing, a half-melody carried by the velocity of the river. Telephones warbled waves. A thin fricative bounces back and forth. A cool wind falls. Reaching his arm above his head to pull down the sky, he can see the valley floor. The rope of pathway curls broken fingers of mottled skin, slick and glistening green. Soapy tissue slides to shore with sand and weeds. A breeze erases it all. Drunk on German whiskey, workers prod an elephant to haul timber. Further the clattering. Blacksmiths bang iron anvils. Farmers mold spurs, pollens, pistols. Bricklayers burn oyster shells for lime, opposing the plank-eating white ants. Bolted to sodden mounds, daylight sears its name on a succession of huts, and awakened hands stretched open to wild game running maddened between the narrows. Having come to the lower end of the forest belt, passing by the fringe of coconuts above the salt lake, through a small area of maize, he considers the forest stretching on all sides flat. Due east, across the dry bed of the small stream, the way leads over an undulating plain with numerous fan palms and clumps of bush. Nearby, old men crouch close to the swamp. In a black stiff loam under the shade, their backs brace against heavy timbered trees and thick undergrowth. Indoma steadies his feet against the slopes, leads his horse to a trough of water. An old man kindles a fire of cow dung. Crossing over to the house's horse, the old man checks its eyes, presses his ear against its ribs, listens, shakes his head. Indoma turns his back, swings upward, grabs the reins. The old man stands back from the massive steed, undecorated. Yellow eye, she old this one, salted horse, Legos bred, brisk trot. She give colt? No. Better. Survive sickness not so long. How far you go? Way. Donkey better. How far you go? Upland Mission House. No map tell the bush. I know the way. I know where you go. 3-day journey, not inland from the port or south, passage north to the sea. You go up Fako, up mountain long, long way, Ambis Bay, southern side, Mangoma, Etinde. Donkey better, donkey and foot. I know the way. The old man retreats to the shade of a mango tree, grown by a swampy pool, sucking a pipe with his legs crossed to the ground, mixing tsetse fly repellent in a clay vat, goat's milk, kerosene oil, soft cow dung. Nagana, good for the journey. Nagana. How much? Just you, not enough for the horse. How much? Take off your robe. The Hausa undresses, weaponry in hand, holding his arms out. The old man's long fingers smear the warm excrement over his nakedness, neck to ankle. I old dead. Walk sharp days, I know you. One-eyed soul, go here, go there, Hausa soldier, you people divided under German rule. You, Kanem Borno Empire, eh? The far north province, you, son, them, Fulani, Fujawa? Fandam, La Com people? You mother Umfum, Unsango, you father teach diecraft, you mother dance Unjoya them. You father go under indigo raffia, customs beach house pull against currents. You work them German army, you. Massa be bad too much. I know. I dark rum oak cast dry peeling. I speak time. I live through flogging wage slavery and crash crop, territory forced labor, governmentship, revolt. I hear long time since Bismarck Treaty, protection King Bell them long time since British consul come, French gunboat enter oil rivers estuary. I see so much. Great British white men, Victoria, Ambas Bay. We help build London Baptist Church, Basel, them mark from what them call Nigeria between Rio del Rey to Lake Chad, German crown land. Sultan Njoya days, I know, long time, new language. You go past Bue above sea, German troops, Adamawa, outside British frontier, all the time fight so much blood. Arab slave trade, French troops, Rabat them. Gabon, Douala, Kribi, Uanda, Puerto, cocoa bean, palm oil planters, mission everywhere, Basho tribesmen kill. Count them, bodies, count them. Great river people kill, Kusta them. I see it, we work so hard. Work so hard them, eh? Martial law. German come sit with Insimi's chiefs. Go to Ngoko region, rubber, move to Upper Jisha. Mubi Garua, more blood, Mubi. Niger Buene, Lake Chad, cocoa, ivory. Ships come in, ships leave out. Oil fields on Worry River, raids by Bapere. German men, them go up. Managuba mountains. French, Senegalese gunmen come, cross. French Congo, rob German factory. Musum. German shot. White merchant kill Mulundu. We suffer so. I see all them days, you know. You, Hausa army. You, Hausa. You massa. I know he too. Long dead. Why you go back? No light do army work. The old man presses a finger against Ndoma's breast, holds his hand against the breastplate, pushes a pointed finger to the side of his skull. You sick here and here. German not make you so. You make yourself so, eh? So? You heart feel tightness. Yes, this sickness just one death. Here another death, yes. You sick everywhere. You death all over. Water does not get bitter without cause. You walk without gods, you live with nobody. I go to find my son. You look for truth. Truth on blood-stained teeth. The delicate fury of starving serpents, awful screams and laughter. You not know you. I know who I am. No. You from Kanuri ruling dynasty of Madaguri and Dikwa Bama people of the Kanuri. You people of the black cotton soil, men from the dry season, Sawaga Masakwa, you are injured. Here, so. I know who I am. The Ngala do not kill the monitor lizard. Kangu do not use the beto tree for firewood, nor the Ngaza the Nazeri tree. Tubu are people of the camel and the bade with the chicken. Lizards are people of the Kawuri and the Mami. Who are you? I am Hausa soldier. You are leper of you people. You soldier who cannot kill the cobra. I am Hausa Muslim. Hausa Muslim. Heh. You live with so much noise, a gurgling moan tightening. You look to a cruel heaven without the pregnant cloud of silence. You must make yourself free, eh? Wash yourself in stars and wind to seal the gaping holes and the pain of life. Before German them give you house of duty, you were cotton field, so skill at harvest. Make for heat such light as is here, like fire, come down. I born long for you, so. Born from 1,000 year over, I live through burning season, come from what them call Senegambia and Sudan in time for you, what them call Congo Basin, long coast, what them call Guinea and Sierra Leone Kuste. Them kill so many. Remember this. That woman you love, she long dead. The hands of the old man a chorus, softened by the buttery dung smoothing over his body. The fingers stop at places, pressing into a muscle, a soft pain, bringing the Hausa soldier to an expurgated memory. Chief and Joya make place close to the Yola, help German kill Adamawans, them. German bring Chief Unsangu head to his son King Joya. King Joya cries, so. King Joya lift father head from basket kiss. So grateful them he fall upon grass. German them hear this. Chief and Joya no more turn deaf ear to hills. Hills nor forget how you help kill Unso them. Whipping pole, eh? Men impaled on ramrod. Men douse, petroleum set aflame. I tell you this, you on cross-bearing mission. You go to the foot of mountains on what them call Bakweri land, fertile, rocky, barren edges of Bamende place, and blood from grass fields where them burn village ash. The grass you disregard, it injure you I. The old man rubs his palms together, smears the last of the dung across the house of soldiers, dips his hands in a calabash of water for washing. Indoma looks at the old man's hands, dry and old and full of years. Near the old man's station, several drums sit beneath a tree in the shade. The house of soldier points to a hand drum. How much? No butter. The old man lifts the drum and hands it to the house of soldier. Live for die. That's the end of that scene. The thinnest layer of light skims the line of a white-flesh current. Its chime resounds on the open void. Honey-tanned German officers lift sun-shot heads beneath the flag. Above the port, flanked by eastern spurs, the house of soldier swings atop a deep-seated saddle, countering the trot. Steering reins against a turn, he pushes down in the stirrups with a click of teeth and tongue. He has a good steed. The horse canters the aisle through the courtyard of the Presidium. From the beach inland, swallows the ground, limbs open, cracking branches undoing the earth. Its master waited, distributed evenly. His breath against its crest, knees pushed into the heart girth. Holding fast to the reins, Indoma passes the German trading house, through the crowd, hitting hard beyond the port, firmly taking hold of the horse over the Dead Stick Bridge. Behind a cement block wall of Cheval de Frise, natives distill gin from raffia palm, chimerical eyes losing the blur of khaki cornflower blue. The government house, a large building with arcades and extensive warehouses, stands near a hospital and the small dockyard of gardens. A nursery for coffee plants is some little distance off. In consequence of the war with tribes of the bush, the storehouse is now maintained only as a coaling depot. The Kamerunstadt sits beneath the old vine bridge, falling behind petroleum smoke and coal dust. It rests on passion flowers hung listless from tin roofs. Makeshift huts kneel in the low stench of quinine. Black water fever and dysentery emanate from pallets of glazed black skins set against sage. Doctors and nurses move with rapidity. It is a dance of hurrying. Amidst barbarous seafarers, German sailors, coal barons, the Imperial Navy, pig iron workers bristle against each other with monkey skins and the heads of hunter-gatherer people. Standing near bodies delivered to the verbena patch, bodies covered respectfully with the sign of the cross are left under an acacia tree. The soldier watches the infirmed carried beyond the coal store to the courtyard. 3 corpses lay on the red clay. There are not enough graves or bandages, a shortage of purgatives. Fearing a repeat of mosquito malaria and corpses, a coagulation of well-appointed soldiers push up against panicked staff. Patients slip in and out of consciousness. Maidservants rush, thunderstruck, cleaning up decaying refuse as it accumulates, spraying receptacles with kerosene preparations to counter the fly maggots that crawl down into the carrion. Under a green slate board, a queue forms. The German Imperial Army serves its tripartite empire, a unified structure of the Greater Prussian infantry. The men engage in Zunkunft paper talk. Earlier, before the storm, no more than a few soldiers marched into the interior, insisting on a repudiation of all post-war treaties with the native chiefs. They climbed through the hills with flags tied around their necks as natives gathered around them, loudly voicing their disagreement. The demonstration quickly turned violent, and within minutes the soldiers were spun into the web plowing through on horseback. The native troops at the Cross and the Sanagang River region are now revolting. Dispatches reached the colonial office. Factories of the Northwest Cameroon Company have been burned down. 4 Germans were killed. German African colonies are in a ferment over the statements spread by rumors. In the midst of the uprising, the Storm 2 has done its work. Returning to work under supervision of German troops, workers file past the gate of the industrial yard manned by African soldiers, anticipating the slightest gesture of defiance. Intent the day would hobble along without incident. Few were aware that the rains would signal failure. The motors of the plant rumble. Batches of coal are removed from the furnace, hot, hard, porous. Combustion air coursing through blast wind heaters, liquid metal pouring out of the bottom of the furnaces into ladle cars for transfer. Cable pulleys slamming thick steel slabs down on the platforms. At some unforeseeable hour, 4,000 tons of nitrous sulfate ignited in the coal veins of the mines of the African hills and set subterranean passageways on fire, and the ground exploded up. The Hausa soldier knows this. He watched buildings come down with sheets of metal and wood. He watched flesh go up with stone. He saw fire. He saw marble torsos of German people, German people's gods, and bronze heads, and the Kaiser midair. 200 bodies divided into 16,000 pieces, and bloodied, freshly cut roadways of bodies split open, scorching limbs, and grass fields. Graveyard markers ejected their tenants from stone entombments. Bodies of bone and ash now lay next to old vestiges, the remains of tribesmen and German soldiers, and village people, African village people, newly buried. Not so far a train, just rattling over the fields, bounds from its tracks. It had leapt up in entirety, throwing flesh and steel and all its contents into the river and onto the fields. Fire beget fire. Men frantically unloaded oxygen tanks at the mouth of the mines and made efforts to halt the deadly white gas released into the workings and rescue those innumerable miners trapped beneath the ground. Corpses of villagers and soldiers filled the hole where the storehouse had once been. German blood commingled with African blood and burning steel. Bodies curled in the grass like the early bloom of annuals. Fire lay on idle trails of roads, catching hold to scrub brush and weeds, climbing trees, raining embers. Fire begat smoke, and smoke multiplied itself into nations, 100 feet above ground into dense, oily, white clouds, a universe of clouds colonizing the air, expanded over land and over water, plateaus of smoke born from a heated base, twisting away from flames, wrenching itself through a blood-orange womb, reaching higher, becoming greater. Men split into leaderless squadrons as the flames shifted westward, urging the fire downhill in the path of men with shovels and voices in opposition. Running from its charge, leaping into walls to emerge on the other side, facing it as one faces a wave and lets it wash over them. Men were netted into one another and became each other in ash. Fire unsettling by dawn. White smoke surfing across morning's unreachable calm. He is a soldier. He is an African soldier of the German colonial army. He has witnessed the assumption of a slow death trapped behind a vibration that is stronger than his hope. He is dodging death to no avail. That's the end of that chapter. So I didn't read any of the Carl Einstein chapters. I just decided to read the African chapters, since you'll hear some of the Carl Einstein stuff if you come to the show. And if you have questions, yeah.